Happy holidays, everyone. Hey guys, IceWire here, and it has been a hot minute since I have uploaded a legit, proper video on this channel. So thank you all for being patient with me as I try to figure out some time to record given my lack of privacy and my current living situation at the moment. But today, how's it going? A lot of things have changed. I actually have like an environment behind me that isn't in an RV. And, spoiler alert, I've gone full gamer girl. My hair is now half blue. You can't see it right now, but here is proof. Half blue. That is me right now. I want more blue. Gonna work on that. I've also been living in America for about 6 months now. Apart from the blue hair, I also saw snow for the first time very recently. It's been, you know, a lot's been happening. But today, since this decade is coming to a close very soon and swiftly, I wanted to take a moment to look back on games I've played and tell you about them and how they shaped my gaming experience over the past 10 years. I'm 22 now, and 10 years ago, when I really started to get more interested in video games, I was a small baby bean who didn't know anything about video games outside of Nintendogs or Catwoman the game. I don't know. I have bad taste in video games. Excluding Nintendogs, because that shit slaps. And yeah, sure, of course, I was playing video games back then, but there was a point in time where I discovered certain genres of video games that made me go, huh, I like this. I want to play more like this. I enjoyed going along for the ride in these games immensely due to the gameplay, stories, and the vast variety of characters throughout each and every one of these titles. Obviously, those core things for me is what makes for a good gaming experience. So without further ado, let's get to the games, and while they are in no particular order, I will start with some no-brainers. Meaning, if you've watched me for a while, then these ones won't be a surprise at all. Starting with number 1, gotta get it out of the way, because it's gonna come up, it's inevitable, it is unavoidable, if you know me, and of course, that game is Skyrim. Now Skyrim for me was, and still is, a big part of my gaming experience when I first really sunk my teeth into playing games that weren't Nintendogs. It got me through some really dark times in my life where I didn't have anything to really look forward to other than the fact that I knew I would be playing Skyrim at the end of the day. Eventually I do plan on paying homage to Skyrim by getting a Parthenax tattoo right here. I mean, I have this tattoo already, so this eventually is all going to be a lovely sleeve with my favourite dragon from Skyrim right up here. That's the plan, eventually. Now, Skyrim is unpolished, yet captivating. From its weird floating horse glitches to getting hooked and invested in the various stories among the land's factions. Even now, I still enjoy revisiting those stories. I cannot even begin to tell you how many countless hours I have spent making new Dragonborns to play as. My current Dragonborn that I am playing as is a dark elf named Shalif, who I kind of want to turn into a D&D character eventually. I want to turn her into a drow character, but she's my current Dragonborn that I'm playing. And typically when I do play Skyrim, as a lot of you probably have, I tend to go for the Stealth Archer, but I'm trying to not do that. So she is a two-handed warrior who also mixes in a bit of magic here and there. Conjuration is her shit. Two-handed conjuration spells, specifically. Shalif is just one of the many Dragonborns that I have created over the fucking decade of playing Skyrim, and I honestly cannot tell you how many hours I have spent just wandering the lands, coming across NPCs I may or may not have come across before, and, you know, enjoying life as a companion, or an assassin, or just a loner who has a mansion in the woods with their 2 children and mudcrab. Skyrim will always be a timeless game for me, and it'll always be one of those games that I can play even now just to zone out for a bit when things get a little stressful. So, you know, that's a big part of why overall Skyrim has had an impact on me. It's always been a form of escapism, and I'll forever appreciate it for that. Now next up, The Last of Us. Now if it isn't obvious by two of my most popular videos on my channel and the fact that I have the same tattoo as one of the main characters, The Last of Us, you know, it's safe to say that it left its mark on both the gaming industry and myself. The story of Joel and Ellie was a gripping one. I mean, right from the prologue of the story, it sucked me in with the horrific and tragic death of Sarah. And I still cry when I watch that. If I don't cry, at the very least get teary-eyed watching that scene play out. Troy Baker and the girl that plays Sarah, I believe her name, I'll edit it down here in case I get it wrong, but I think her name is Hannah Hayes. Both of them did such a phenomenal job in that scene. And from that point onwards, you know, you get attached to Joel and want to see what happened to him after such a tragic, traumatizing event in his life. I've never really been a fan of shooters or horrors, so The Last of Us came out, you know, very left field for me. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but I did. I love the game. I love the soundtrack and the story. It's grim, but it has its moments of light, which I appreciate. And of course I got attached to Ellie. Who didn't get attached to Ellie? She is, you know, at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of the franchise, since we're going to be playing her again in part 2, and you know, she's grown so much since then. From the moment that you meet her and you get to know her along the course of your journey as Joel, you get very attached and you want to see her, you know, living her best life in this shitty world. I'm not gonna lie, the mama bear mode definitely came out in me when I played The Last of Us. I got very protective over Ellie. And I think Ellie definitely made a mark of her own on me as a gamer, because, you know, we're gonna be playing her in part 2, and given how attached both myself and I'm sure many others who have played The Last of Us have gotten to Ellie, seeing her descent from being a happy-go-lucky girl to someone that's lost so much so quick and wants to make those pay who took, you know, things that she loved dearly from her. Overall, The Last of Us, just good game all around. If you haven't played it, do it. And next up, I'm going to be throwing in two games into one sort of category or mention, if you will, because while they are different games, they gave me the same experience, so I don't see the point in listing them off individually. So next up is Life is Strange and The Walking Dead, the first game by Telltale. Now the reason I bring both of these games up at the same time is that while the stories and the worlds within these games are completely different from each other, both of these games delivered the same thing to me as a player, and that was making me cry like a bitch. Following along Max and Chloe and Lee and Clementine, you rooted for them. I rooted for these characters. And for me, I got teary-eyed when I chose to make Max sacrifice her best friend to save Arcadia Bay. And just the scene in the bathroom where Chloe meets her end and Max has a breakdown because she knows what's about to happen, because her best friend is about to be murdered, and while she can do something about it, she knows what it will lead to, so she has to bear through the pain and let it happen. And it's gut-wrenching. It's so gut-wrenching. I'm a huge empath, and that just, it got me so bad. Also, Kate Marsh's storyline, the whole thing, just, that hurt. That shit hurted. And of course, Lee and Clementine. The bond you get to see unfold bloomed a trend in father-daughter bonds between main characters. Hell, part of the reason why I love The Last of Us is because of that. And when Lee gets bit, and you as the player have to tell Clem to either kill you or leave you to let you turn, that sucked. I picked Death for Lee to spare him from becoming a walker, and you've seen the compilations on the internet of people crying their eyes out over the ending of that game. And let me tell you right now, My reaction the first time playing it myself was probably right up there with them, because ow! Both Life is Strange and Telltale's The Walking Dead hit me on an emotional level that I still haven't forgotten, even years after playing those games. All the gross, ugly sobbing I did over those two games definitely won't be forgotten anytime soon. And now for my next game on a lighter topic, because that got kind of... we had some sad boy hours right there for a moment. And the next game is Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, it's relatively recent, it's very recent, it only came out like a fucking month ago. I know, how could I have defined my decade, you're wondering? Well, random viewer, who I appreciate greatly for stopping by on my channel, because, you know, YouTube has been an absolute clusterfuck lately. Let me tell you why. I have never in my life actually played a Pokemon game that wasn't Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was my introduction to the Pokemon franchise. The games, specifically. I mean, I'd seen a little bit of the show as a kid, but I never really paid too much attention to it, because I was too invested in fucking Barney or The Land Before Time. And my husband is really big into Pokemon. I mean, he grew up with the games, so he wanted to get Pokemon Sword and Shield when it came out, and I got excited as well. Then it led me to playing it too, and this is the first time I've ever played a Pokemon game at launch, and I love it. Also, I gotta say really fucking quick, I don't understand the hate for Hop. Leave Hop alone. This is like, I am declaring it now on this channel that we do not dislike Hop. We support him. We are not mean to him. If we're gonna be mean to fucking anybody, we're gonna be mean to Leon. Leon, boring. Hop, interesting. Yeah, Leon has a fucking Charizard. Woohoo. Cool. Really, really breaking the mold there. Meanwhile, Hop and his Wooloo are a dynamic duo. Prove me wrong. The Galar region is... I love the Galar region. I love the sounds and the music, the bagpipes, those beautiful, beautiful bagpipes as you wander around in the wild area, running away from Bewares that try to crush you to death. Plus this game has Applin. Applin is cute. Applin is great. Because you know why? Applin turns into Appleton. Appleton is fucking adorable. I love Appleton so much. There are so many cool Pokemon in this game. I mean, Galarian Ponyta. We got the new starters. I love the new starters in this game. They're cute. They have personalities. I love them a bunch. I would kill a bitch for Sobble. Galarian Zigzagoon is my absolute... I fucking love him. I got a shiny Galarian Zigzagoon. I don't know how I did it, but I got it very early in the game. I had a really good time with Pokemon Sword and Shield. I haven't gotten to play it recently because now my brother-in-law has commandeered the Switch. Since there's 4 of us in this household and 1 Switch. So... shit's rough. But I had a really good time with Pokemon Sword and Shield, and while I do understand like a lot of the gripes that are understandable and fair with this game, I myself had a good time with it. And it was my first Pokemon game that I've beaten the story. I got the legendary. I got Zamazenta. I like Zamazenta. It's just a little shield wolfus. I was originally more inclined towards Zacian. But Zamazenta's cool too. If someone is relatively new to Pokemon or you want to introduce somebody to Pokemon, I would suggest this game. And I love the challenges that they did in, like, leading up to facing off against the leaders. That's interesting. It's changing things up a little. And it made it more interesting than just going up to a couple guys in a line and being like, hey, I want to fight him but I have to fight you first, let's go. And then just rinse and repeat. No, this made it interesting, which I appreciate. Also, Yamper is cute. So cute. Next up, The Sims. Just specifically, The Sims as a franchise. And there will be one more franchise mentioned after this, which will be the final game, but let's talk about Sims. I love The Sims. I grew up with it. It's probably one of the first actual games that I've played. And it's just one of those games that you can really just chill back and relax and play. I have very recently managed to get it working on my laptop. And it's been so good because I had to take apart my old PC, which had all my saves and my Sims and all my custom content that I spent hours downloading. So I finally got a new save going, and I've been playing that, and I recently downloaded Wicked Whims. Yeah. I've been making my Sims fuck. It's neat. I'm not ashamed to say that Wicked Whims is a fun mod. Kind of disturbing at times, and sometimes I have to step in and help Sims who forget what their genitals are, but it's fun. It's neat. It's a good experience. And Wicked Whims aside, I recently got Discover University and God, the beach one with the fucking mermaids. I don't know what it's called. Those 2 packs, they're pretty fun. I like them. University is actually giving me a challenge, which is good. My Sims are pretty much broke and studying all the time, so they're really living the student life. And one of them's a mermaid. I've played The Sims 2, The Sims 3, and The Sims 4. Even the spin-off, The Sims Medieval, which is a really cool game. And actually, low-key has a storyline, so I'd recommend that. It's like $20 on the Origin store, and I believe it's also on Steam. The Sims has always been like a big staple in like simulation games, and I've been playing it all my life, and it's not going to be changing anytime soon with the next decade that comes. It's just one of those games that just doesn't age. It's timeless. It's really timeless. Finally, but not least in the slightest out of all these games, the Dragon Age franchise. Now, I specifically list the franchise, not just Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age 2 or Dragon Age Inquisition. No, the franchise. I was in my first year of high school when I started playing Dragon Age. Now, granted, I kind of played it in a messed up order. I played Dragon Age 2, then Dragon Age Origins, and then Inquisition. I did it all jumbled. And you can hate me all you want for that, but for some reason that's just how I got into the franchise. And while I do admit like a few of the games definitely have their issues, specifically Dragon Age 2 with, you know, its repetition of maps and whatnot, I enjoyed my time with them. I had fun. I had a ton of fun with the franchise. And I think that is probably what really kick-started my love for RPGs. Well, it's one of the reasons that I love RPGs so much. Never would I have thought as a like young person playing a video game that I would actually be able to cultivate relationships, not just like the romantical kind. Well, romance, because it's a video game, not real life, but also it's fun. But being able to cultivate relationships with your party members in a video game it really sells you as an RPG. It really, really does. Whether you romance a character or you downright hate a character in your party, it really makes the experience more unique to you and your own experience within the game, because, you know, not everyone has the same experience. I enjoyed my time as the Warden, the hero of Ferelden. I actually really enjoyed my time as Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall. I really, really like Hawk. I played a sassy Hawk, and Sassy Hawk is best Hawk. She is fun, absolutely fun, and the random gaggle of misfits that you meet in that game, top notch. Except for Sebastian, we don't talk about him. I liked all the party members in Dragon Age Origins. While I'm on the topic of companions, loved all of them. Alistair, love him. Liliana, love her. Morrigan, bitchy, but secretly, you know, she's best girl, secretly. Zevran, I also love him. Sten, Wynn, needs to be my mother. Mabari, good dog. And then Inquisition has a wide host of characters. I really liked the, you know, variety of choices you can make in the game, in dialogue, as the Inquisitor, where if someone asks me my opinion on things, I can say whether I like them or dislike them, or had this feeling or that feeling because of my race, my status as a mage or a former noble. I could be able to pick and choose what I wanted depending on what class and race I was playing, and that was really cool. And those are the games that defined my gaming experience for this decade. The next decade is surely going to bring more games, and I'm really excited for all the new ones to come out. I mean, next year is loaded. It's freaking loaded, man. I'm excited. Are there any games for you that really made this decade of gaming fun? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear them.
If you do want to support the channel, please do consider checking out my Patreon. We've got some cool rewards on there, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find something that's your cup of tea. And of course, as always, a massive thank you to my current patrons. They are Nicholas Montoya, Kazgirl, Cooladora, Kay, and Zapfinouch. And if you want to see your name shouted out at the end of the video, just like these guys right here, do hop on over to my Patreon and yeah, have a look at the rewards on offer. Or if you don't want to deal with the whole monthly subscription stuff, do consider checking out my Ko-Fi. If an easy, breezy, or one-off donation is more your thing, do check that out.
And while this was a little bit rambly here and there, I hope you enjoyed this video. It is IceWire signing off, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Where you are in the world. Happy holidays to everyone watching. I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.